Taurus, welcome to your weekly sidereal forecast for July 6th through the 12th. My name is Athen. So this week, we're coming off that full moon energy from last week, entering into the disseminating phase on Monday. And as the week unfolds, the lunar energies will start to subside and will close in the balsamic phase. So still quite high, though, especially in the early part. We've got some oppositions here this week, particularly on Monday when the sun goes opposite up to Pluto, which is a lot like this full moon energy anyways, because we had that conjunction with Pluto here in your 8th house. So here, hopefully last week, you did learn more about the things that are meaningful to you in life, the deeper aspects of life, perhaps things relating to shared resources, or, the ebb and flow, and seeing how life is about change, and perhaps, opening up in relationships, opening up with yourself, and seeing things for how they actually are. So that has been the 8th house energy with the full moon. And now with this opposition from Pluto, this is really activating this Pluto energy, which has been here for many years for you, helping you transform and release any attachments to these ebb and flows of life, which might be things relating to life and death, the subconscious, our fears, things like this. So with this opposition, it's important, this early part, of course, not going to any extremes here, being willing to change this part of your life, be willing to see the truth in that non-attached way, be willing to, see how, you can be more open and vulnerable with yourself and in your relationships, in your work, with family, whatever it might be for you personally. But all of that will be facilitating these changes because it is a changing month with all of this energy involving Pluto. So, but this opposition on Monday, here you've had a lot of energy of your second house, which is about your values. And I think you've been stepping into a new level of self-worth this past couple weeks and for the next couple weeks as well, with all this energy transiting your second house. You've got Mercury going in here midweek. So with all this assertiveness and perhaps passion relating to the material values and the simple life, remembering that there is this spiritual side of life as well. There's a deeper side, and seeing the deeper of the material and even the enjoyable of the deeper will be a great way to work with both of these energies this week. So that's strongly on Monday, but towards the end of the week, the Mars will be going not within 1 degree, but still somewhat close to this opposition with Pluto. So also an important consideration relating to your drives and ambitions, things relating to that. And then, of course, Mars does naturally rule your 12th house and does naturally rule that 7th house of yours, so things relating to relationships and spirituality, without going to any extremes there, and being willing to change those areas of your life as well. So that's going to be the highlight there of the week. On Wednesday, however, very nice transit. Neptune will be trining up to the sun, trining up to that Mars, coming from that 10th house. So there has been perhaps this flow or at least spiritual element to your work or your public life in some way of either spiritual or resting and relaxing and finding the importance of that. Maybe that's been quite healing for you. So that's going to continue to support, these second house things that you're involved with, your sense of self-worth really. And so things relating to, your drives here and your ambitions there should flow quite nice, I would say, this week. All these second house matters. It's a mixed bag because it's being opposed. But in terms of trusting and flowing and having faith, that should be very, very good this week for you. Now, on Wednesday, Mercury shifts into that second house. So I think you'll naturally be thinking more and perhaps incorporating these material thoughts and ideas and things into your daily work environment, your just daily environment in general, with Mercury now going into your second for the next few weeks. So thinking about these things, implementing them, being grateful really for what you have and seeing the abundance that you do have in your life, I think is a good way to work with a Mercury in the second house, which then naturally unlocks more of this, appreciation and, abundance back to you, just from being aware of it and incorporating it into your life. So that's already been a highlight, like I said, with Mars and the Sun, but now Mercury, your mind, I think we'll be going into this area specifically about midweek. And anything you're thinking about doing practically and on that day-to-day level involving these second house matters like finances or resources would be a next good few weeks to do so. Now, Friday and Saturday, Mercury, after he shifts in there, will be squaring up to the North Node. So this is a constructive energy towards life path, which for you has been relating to self-expression for this whole year. So this whole year has been about you seeing where you can have more fun, more joy. What is it that you're really passionate about in life and things relating to that? Could be children even, or creative type of things for you. But whatever it's been, put some energy into that Friday and Saturday. This is a square. We've had a lot of squares with the North Node, which is very constructive when we want to. So through that, I think we'll learn quite a bit more about, in this sense, what you're passionate about, what excites you in life. And that can be very, very constructive with that square. Now, on Sunday, going into next week, Venus, your ruler, will be squaring up to Saturn. At the same time, the Sun will be squaring up to Uranus. So this is mostly an energy for next week, but I want to say this for Sunday. This is always important, especially with your ruler, to put any constructive energy and just really step into that maturity and responsibility and being willing to work on the way you're perhaps communicating, because there's been a lot of expansion, a lot of things coming in with writing, communicating, reading, learning, and I think you've been enjoying those things lately quite a bit. So now with Saturn, it's an opportunity to put in that constructive energy towards those things, and maybe even relating to those relationships of yours. And, maybe even your routine, putting in that hard work into that, because Saturn has been transiting your 6th house of routine and daily work, and Venus does naturally rule that house for you. So remembering that, and I think constructively doing that into next week will be important. Also with Uranus, not going to any extremes with self-expression, and even in the financial or material side of things will be important on that Sunday, just because Uranus squaring usually makes us feel like we want to make some rash decisions, we want to suddenly do some things, and it's important here to stay balanced and take it slow. And with Uranus in your 11th house, I think you've been learning a lot about community and giving and contributing and things like that, which I think you can further learn about going into next week. But that's just Sunday. Going into the rest of the week, I'll cover this more in the next weekly. So for most of this week, the emphasis is certainly on the 2nd house of self-worth, of values, of the material aspects of life, balancing that with the deeper and being willing to change this area of your life if necessary, your outlook on things there. Again, seeing the enjoyment of the changes of life as well. These two can be synergized, and that's exactly what we want to do during an opposition type of a transit. All right, Taurus, well, have a nice week. If you're new to Sidereal, do check the description. If you'd like a personal session, please get in touch at masteringthezodiac.com. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you all next time.